Would you love to give your credibility an instant boost? Credibility is so important. If I don't like you, if I don't trust you, if I don't feel good about you, I'm probably not going to want to work with you. So credibility, putting yourself out there as an expert, is going to go a long way to help the people you want to work with understand more about who you are. And the best way, in my opinion, to do that is to write a book. Now, before you say, oh no, I can't possibly do it, I've written several and it's not as difficult as you think. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you some ideas about how you can very, very easily put together a book at no financial investment to yourself and give yourself that instant credibility boost. Now, if we haven't met before, my name is Gwyneth and I love coaching fabulous women entrepreneurs just like you to acknowledge, to discover, to recognize what you are actually worth so that you are charging accordingly. I will also help you look at crafting your offer, putting your services into a bundle of expertise that really strengthens your brand so people know what you're good at. And number three, very, very important, particularly now, is I will help you to look at the systems and processes in your business to ensure that you are not wearing yourself out, that you've actually got the freedom that you want, the freedom that you thought about potentially when you decided to go into business. So, writing a book. Well, there are three really easy ways that you can immediately put some content together if you want to. And like I said, I don't want you to think of this about necessarily becoming a bestseller overnight. The publishing world, as I found out, is a cutthroat world and it can get very, very expensive if you're not a big name. So the first easiest way for you to put a book together is to look at your blogs. If you've been blogging, if you've been posting regularly on your website or on Facebook or one of the other social media platforms, and you've been putting something out there maybe on a weekly basis or maybe on a monthly basis, bring it all together. And hopefully you will know enough about your niche to actually be able to give all the information, all the blogs that you have, a title, sort of I don't know, personal styling 101. And then you've got every single blog that you've written for the past couple of years, and you can bring all those together with some editing and all the rest of it, and that's a book. You know, that can be very, very useful for some people. Number two, and this is something I did with one of my books, was to write down all the questions you have ever been asked by your clients and answer them, and to reformat that, put that into some kind of book form. That's a great thing to do as well, because you know, if one client has asked something, there's a good chance another client will want to know exactly the same thing. So pulling all those answers together and putting them into book format can be very, very useful. And number three, I appreciate you, not everybody does this, but when I used to do workshops, I actually put my workshop content into book form as well, and those books have also proved very, very popular. Now, like I said, you can do this at no financial cost to yourself. You may decide that you want to get some help with putting a book cover together, or maybe even just a bit of formatting. But honestly, the best and the easiest way to do this is to use Amazon. Amazon restructured its entire self-publishing a couple of years ago, and it's now called Kindle Direct Publishing. This means that when you upload your Word document onto Amazon, you can choose to not only have a paperback but you can also instantly publish something on Kindle. Now, I just want to show you one of the things I love about this process is that you have all sorts of sizes. So this is something I put together from it when I used to do career coaching, how to write an application form. And the great thing about this is that, you know, I could actually make this into a workbook so people could, well, they can buy it, they can write in it, they can keep it, and it's a form of reference that they'll have forever and ever. And then I've got a smaller book on emotional intelligence, and then a slightly larger book again on how to get ready for a job interview or a video interview. And then Blood, Sweat and Tears, my baby, Stepping Into You. This was the one where I took everybody's all the questions that I'd also had, and put it all together. For that one, admittedly, I got myself a book coach. That was a lot of work. But the thing about Amazon is that, like I said, it costs you nothing to get this stuff uploaded, and in between times you can actually order author copies. This means that you can order, I don't know, a couple of hundred author copies. That book only cost me a few euros, and these are great examples of how you can then market yourself. Something I love to do is if I've got a client, or if I've got a VIP client coming in, I'll send them the books in the post with a note, with a thank you note, and they say, Laura, that's great. It's something just a little bit special. If you're selling through Amazon directly, you don't get to know people's names and details. Something else you can do with your book, though, is, as I've got in this one, excuse me, is to actually provide an easy to write link, an easy to copy link, so that people can come to your website, they can sign up to your mailing list. I've got some templates and things. I allow people, when they sign in, when they join up to the mailing list, they get the templates to download and keep. And so that's another way of building that emotional connection with the people that you're actually selling to. Another great thing you can do with these books is to say, here's a free copy of my book with something else, or just get them to pay for postage and packing. The margin isn't huge on that particular option, but it does work. But the greatest thing about these books is that, like I said, it will boost your credibility. The perception of people about who you are and what you do will change instantly, as was driven home to me a few years ago when I think it was the interviews and videos book that I had with me, and somebody actually came up to me and said, wow, you wrote a book, well done. Because for them, it was something huge to actually get words onto paper and then get it published. I'm not going to go into all the details now. You go and look up Kindle Direct Publishing or self-publishing on Amazon, and have a think about, like I said, one of those three ways. Potentially bring your blogs all together, or bring together all your marketing tips, or the questions and answers that people have asked you over the past couple of years. Or if you are maybe a consultant, if you deliver workshops or whatever, think about bringing your content together. There are rules about selling these things electronically if you've put something on Kindle, but in between times, you can put everything onto your website as well, charge for the downloads, use them as bonuses, all sorts of things. The list is absolutely endless. So I really think, I think you should think about getting a book out there to get an instant credibility boost. And there's something very special about holding a book that you've written in your hands and kind of flicking through the pages. Now, I am going to give you a couple of tips. I said I took a book coach because it was quite a lot of work, I'm not going to lie, but two really, really important things I learned. If your book is going to be a bit longer, create a table of contents first, to make sure that there is a flow, and do not move from that table of contents until you're happy with the flow of your book. And the second thing is, whenever you are publishing anything, even if you are writing a blog, speak it out loud, read it out loud to yourself. Because if you are tripping over the words, there's a good chance that the person reading your book is also going to not necessarily understand what it is you are on about. So two important tips there that I learned from my book coach a couple of years ago as well. So that's it for today. Boost your credibility. Why don't you go and publish yourself a book? Like I said, it need not cost you a penny. It will cost you a little bit of your time, but the rewards and the boost to the perception of how people look at you and how you also feel about yourself, like I said, when you've got that book in your hands for the first time, just absolutely fabulous. Speak to you again soon. In between times, stay safe, stay healthy, stay fabulous. Loads of love, and bye for now.